Hello and welcome to week 5 of Health 135. So this is going to be the last week of Unit 2 where we are looking at health conditions in children. And so this week you're going to be looking at Chapter 5, which is going to be about communicable diseases. And all that really means is infections, diseases that can be transferred or spread to other people. So, if you have ever been around children, you know that they do get sick fairly often, and that a lot of times they will spread the sickness to their friends, including you sometimes. I will tell you from experience that probably the first year that you are working with children, you are probably going to catch everything that they have. But your immune system will eventually build up to where you're not going to catch every cold that comes into your classroom. So when I was teaching my first year, I was out for several days at several different points during the year because I did catch what my students had. But by my last year of teaching, I actually had a little boy in my class who was a strep carrier. So he did not get strep throat, but he gave it to everybody. However, I did not ever catch strep throat because my immune system had built up enough by that point to where I was kind of immune from some of the sicknesses. So there is definitely hope for you, but I do want you to know that starting at the beginning, you may well find yourself a little bit sicker than you're used to. So drink lots of orange juice, take your vitamin C, wash your hands all the time, and keep vigilant watch on the children. So what you're going to find for this week is that we're going to look at Chapter 5 again, which is going to be about those communicable diseases. So when you go into Unit 2 and you go down to the bottom for week 5, which is Children's Health, you're going to see under the required reading, here's Chapter 5, and so here's the PowerPoint that goes along with Chapter 5, but this resource is going to be really helpful for you. So you'll see that it says that it's taken from the Eckers. So the Eckers, if you have not seen it before, so if you have not seen the Eckers before, this is what it looks like. It's a huge yellow book that is used while we do our ratings. So in Virginia, as you know, we have something called an improvement rating system, and that's where centers can volunteer to be rated. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be one of those raters for several years. It has transitioned to something called Virginia Quality now. And you will find on Blackboard under the course information that there's a list of centers that are participating in Virginia Quality, and those are ones that you may want to consider when it's time to do your observation. But that huge yellow book, the Eckers, is full of 43 indicators that are supposed to be identified in order for a classroom and a center to be considered high quality. So this week when you are looking in your required readings, you're going to find this resource, which is actually the scoring book for that huge yellow book. So we never ask students to buy the Eckers book because it's extremely expensive, even in used format. But we do have permission to be able to give you access to some of the portions of it. So when you click on this particular resource, you're going to see that it's a PDF that has all of the different indicators that we would look at in order to be considered high quality. So take some time to go through this resource. This week we're specifically going to be looking at the health practices number 13. And so when you go into your assignment for this week, you're going to find that it is a discussion board, and it's another 3-2-1 discussion board. So 3 things that you learned, 2 ways you can apply this, and 1 question. But this YouTube video is my friend Jeannie Hopkins, who is actually going to do a little tutorial on how to read through number 13, the health practices, so that you understand what's considered inadequate, minimal, good, or excellent, which are going to be kind of the ranges that centers and classrooms can have. So after you have watched her explain how to kind of interpret the information on that page, then I want you to answer the discussion board and then make sure that you respond to at least 2 of your classmates by the end of the week. So that is going to finish up our discussion on health. And so next week we're going to jump into Unit 3. Please don't forget that at the end of this week you need to make sure that you have submitted your growth brochure, newsletter, flyer, however you did it. It's due by midnight on Sunday. Remember my grading policy, I do have 1 grace day, so it will stay open until Monday at midnight, but once that grace day has passed, then no late assignments are going to be accepted. So once I have had a chance to look over those and get those graded, then we're going to move into our next assignment, which is going to be the observation. So I hope you enjoy as we finish up Unit 2. As always, don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in week 6.